Good afternoon, students. We are going to work this week on this activity, page number 19 in your Technical English number 2 book. On this page 19, we have two activities, activity number 1 and activity number 2. Activity number 1, we are going to use this. The pictures show the stages of manufacturing ice cream. Match them with the speech bubbles. So you are going to organize bubbles A, B, C, D, E, and F with these pictures. Okay? Activity number 2. We are going to write a description of the manufacturing process using the passive. Okay? Passive. Use the linkers from the box. These are the linking words to start our sentences. Okay? One of them is placed in the middle of a section. Okay? So, we are going to work on passive and active voice. What is the difference between active and passive voice? Active voice, the most important part in the sentence. What is the most important part in the sentence in active? The people, okay? The people of the sentence. The people who does the action. The people who does, the person who does the action, the people who do the action. Okay, this is the most important section in the sentence. Okay, the action, but not the action. Okay, the action is not important in active voice. Okay, not important. This is not important. But who does the action is more important. Okay? Okay. Look at this sentence in present. While penguins, in past, attacked, the passive voice, in the active voice in this case, the verb is in past. Okay? The verb is in past. This is the verb of the sentence. Okay? The active voice could be in present, okay, could be in past, could be in future, etc. Okay, different tenses. What is the structure of active voice? The structure of any active voice is subject, okay, verb, and predicate. Okay, different from passive voice. What happens in passive voice? In passive voice, the most important part in the sentence is not the subject, but the action. The action is more important. Okay, more important. This is the opposite from active voice. Okay, more important. The action. Okay, and the subject is not important. Okay, not important. So active and passive are opposites. Let's check again. In active voice, the more important part is in the sentence is the subject who does the action, and the action is not important. The opposite is in passive voice. The subject is not important, but the action is more important. Okay? Now, the structure of passive voice. This is the structure of active voice. Okay? Active voice and the passive voice. We have here the subject. Okay? We have, as we see in our example, this section. With another color to distinguish. The verb to be, okay, the verb to be the verb to be could be in present, could be in past, etc. And we have here another new section. We have here this. The past participle of the verb. Okay, the past participle of the verb. Next, we have the predicate. Okay, this is the structure of passive voice. Okay, passive voice. Passive voice. Subject, the verb to be, in present, in past, in future, etc. The past participle of the verb, and then the predicate. Okay, check out more examples. Here we have more examples. In this sentence, a famous architect designed this theater. Okay, this sentence is in past. Okay, this is past. Irregular verb, regular verb, past. Okay, we are going to check in this sentence what is the most important part in this sentence. A famous architect. Okay, the most important part is who does the action. A famous architect is the most important. Okay, most important. What about the action? The action is not important. Okay, this is not important. Not important. Okay, we are going to transform this from active voice. This is active. Okay, active, from active voice to passive. In passive voice, we have a subject. Which is the subject? This. Okay, so this is the passive voice. This, okay, this theater, this theater, this theater. As the passive voice, the active voice is in past, we are going to need the verb to be, in past. Okay, what is the verb to be in past for this theater? Was. Okay, was, and the past participle of the verb. The past participle of the verb. Past participle. Which is the past participle of this verb? Design. The same. Was designed by a famous architect. Okay, so this sentence, let's compare these two sentences. This sentence is in passive voice. Okay, passive, because the most important part in the sentence is the action. Okay, who was designed, what was designed, and in this sentence the most important is the person who does the action. That's the opposite. In this sentence, the famous architect is not important. Okay, the most important is what was designed. Okay, we are going to check the next example. Popov invented the radio in 1895. Invented, this sentence is in past. Okay, past. And what is the most important section in this sentence? Who does the action is the most important. What was done, this is not important. Okay, this is active voice. Active voice. Now we are going to transform from active to passive. Okay, to passive. So to passive. The radio. This is past. The verb to be is in past. Remember the structure. The verb to be here, and then the past participle. So the radio was. Past participle of invent is invented. by pop-up in 1895. Okay, so this sentence is in passive voice because the most important is not the person but what was done. Okay, we are going to check another example. A railway line connects the village with the town. What is the most important part in this sentence? The most important part is this: the railway line. Okay, the person, the object, etc. in the sentence. And this is the most important. And what is not important? The village. This is not important. Okay, this is not important, the village. What is done? We are going to transform, so this is active. Okay, so we are going to transform into passive. Okay, into passive. So we are going to use this section, the village, the structure of passive voice. We need the verb to be. In this case, the sentence in active is in present, so the verb to be in the passive is going to be in present. So the village is the past participle of the verb connects. The past participle is connected. With the town, or by a railway okay, so this sentence, the village is connected. Look at the parts of the sentence. The village, verb to be, okay, the past participle of the verb, and the predicate. Okay, this structure is in passive voice. Okay, passive. Okay, look at the difference between passive and active. Totally different. This is present, the verb to be is in present. Okay, past participle. Okay, past participle. The most important here is what is done, not the person who does the action. Okay, this is the difference between passive and active voice. In our book, in the exercise number 2, we are going to use the passive. Okay, we are going to use the passive voice to describe the process. Which process? This process. Okay, the process of creating or designing or producing the ice cream. Okay, so this process can be explained into passive voice. Okay, look at the example. We are going to use these connectors to create a process. Okay, they are connecting ideas to express process. This is the first idea. Okay, first. Okay, first. So all the ingredients are weighted. Look at this sentence. This is in active voice. We weight all the ingredients and mix them together. The verbs in the sentence: verb. Okay, this is the subject. We weight all the ingredients and mix them together in large tubs. We use, this is a verb, okay, to make. ice cream. Okay, so we are going to transform, this is active voice, and we are going to transform in the text into passive voice. How? We need to use this. We is the most important part in the sentence. Okay, we is the most important part. This is important. Who does the action? We. What is done? This is not important. Okay, the ingredients are not important. This is not important, the ingredients. Okay, the ingredients, this is not important. But in passive voice, this is the opposite. The ingredients, look at the difference. The ingredients are the most important part in the sentence. Now we are going to use the passive. Okay, the passive. Okay, so what is the construction of the passive? We need the subject. Which is the subject? This. All the ingredients. Most important part in the sentence. Okay, the most important. Then in our structure we have the verb to be. This sentence, okay, this sentence is in present. Wait, the verb in present. The verb in present. Present. Okay, present. So the passive voice must be in present. Let's check the example. The ingredients are, this is the verb to be in present, and then according to our structure we need a past participle. Past participle of these verbs. Wait, waited, regular verb. Mix, mixed, regular verb. Together, in large tubs. Okay, now the second part of the sentence. Okay, the second part. Cream, milk and sugar. We use, this is present, cream, milk and sugar to make ice cream. We used, this is the verb in active, and the verb in passive is this, but with past participle. Okay, so cream, milk and sugar are, passive voice with the verb to be, used, past participle, okay, to make ice cream. Okay, so the idea of the exercise is to use passive voice, okay, passive voice to express this process. Okay, number 2, you need to select the correct connector and transform from active to passive in this part. Okay, there are blank spaces in number 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much.